BBLs, you are taking fat out of other places and you're putting it into your bum. It's just gonna go gravity, gravity, gravity will pull it down. You can do 1,000,000 squats. You're not gonna get the Kim K bump. It had a really negative impact on the way I perceived myself. Actually, some people used to tease me and say I had AIDS. I just really thought there was something wrong with me. So when I was in Nigeria, I started taking these pills. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Jo. If you are new here, welcome, welcome. I don't have a jingle just yet, but welcome. Thanks for joining this video. If you are a return watcher, thank you very much for tuning in once again. I appreciate the support. I'm trying to get 200 subscribers on my channel this month, so do the needful and hit that subscribe button, please. I'm also trying to get 500 on this channel before Christmas, so it would really help me to achieve my goal for the rest of 2020. Anyway, you have stopped by because of the title, so let's get into it. Why don't we just do what we're gonna do? In this video, I'm going to be talking about body dysmorphia, or actually not something as severe, but more so body image issues or body image consciousness. So this week, I was talking to my fiance and we were just generally chit-chatting about like puberty and being a late bloomer or an early bloomer and our experiences in general. And that just got me actually thinking about what I had gone through and how no matter where I lived, people always had things to say about my body and how that had a negative impact on myself and my psyche growing up. And also this week, there's been a lot of chit chatter on the public domains and social media about Miss RFabulous. Her name's Renee. She's a YouTuber as well, and she basically put out a video about her experience going to get 3 botched BBLs, and it's really sad to watch. This is not a kind of response video because I mean that's not what this channel is about, but those 2 things happening in 1 week just got me thinking that actually I think it's important to address this issue, or at least to talk about it and see what people are going through or what their experiences are, and also just to share my story and see if it could help anybody if you're going through a similar experience. So let's get into it. Now, if you know me personally or you follow me on social media, it's at JMOTG, in case you were wondering too. You will know that I really like fitness. I like sports. Since the gyms have been reopened, I have been hitting the gym. I've been going on average 2 to 3 times a week. I've also been trying to eat a bit better food. We got a little bit of a special relationship going on. But yeah, generally I like to work out, I like to eat, I like to do me. And that's just always been my personality since I was a kid. Like I've always really been into sports. I've always been pretty athletic. I played on my university basketball team. I ran 100 meters for the ACS athletics. Even like in secondary school, I was really into sports and all of that good stuff. So obviously that had an impact on my physique. I also played tennis. Jeez, my dad thought he was raising the next Serena. Sorry, Dad. Sorry, not quite. But long story short is I really liked sports and I was always very athletic in my build. And when I first moved out of the country, so out of the UK, I moved to Togo. And in that school that I went to, that was just the beginning of a downward spiral that had a really negative impact on the way I perceived myself and the way I viewed my body in my mind's eye, if that makes sense. So when I first moved to Togo, listen, all the girls there, I don't know if they were eating pounded yam from the womb, but they were heavy set. They were voluptuous. I was what, like 10? So these were like girls in their teenage years with breasts and bum and thighs and hips, and everything was just like they had really advanced. They had reached other levels of puberty that I didn't even realize were possible to teenagers at the time. And I had never really been aware of myself or my body until I got to that school, and everyone was like, oh, she's so skinny, why is she so thin, blah 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 blah. And I never knew that I was thin. I never knew that I was skinny until all of them kept saying it. And even to the point that actually some people used to tease me and say I had AIDS, which is a very, very, very horrible thing to say to a 10-year-old. I didn't even really know what AIDS was. I just knew that it wasn't something nice. And so from quite early on, I already had people saying very negative and hurtful things about me and about the way that I looked. It was really nasty, and to be honest, it was students, and we were all young and stupid, but I think some were stupider than others. And from then on, I just really thought there was something wrong with me. So I started eating and eating and eating and eating. And I don't know if there's a term for it. I know that anorexia is the opposite, where you don't want to be fat and you just think you are fat all the time. But mine was the complete opposite, where I just really, really, really didn't want to be thin. And for some people, that might be like, oh my God, you're so thin. Wow, what a problem. But like, seriously, you have to take people for where they are, and you don't know what people's mindsets are like, or the kind of damage that's been done to people. You might see somebody's body and think, wow, banging body, but you don't know what the person's actually going through. So anyway, I started eating like non-stop, and I would eat like really, really starchy foods, and I would be eating to the point of gagging and like almost throwing up, but I would just be like forcing myself to eat because I really wanted to gain weight. So after a while, I then moved to Nigeria. And in Nigeria, then my classmates and my people in my school would tease me and say I was too muscular. Oh my God, look at her. Why is she so hinged? Have you seen Joe's arms? Have you seen Joe's legs? She's so yamorous. She's so... I'm just like... I just can't win. I'm too much of everything. Everything but curvy. And I then felt like, okay, well now apparently I look like a man. So I've gone from being too skinny to now being too hench. And again, we were young, we were stupid, but you don't really understand the impact that these things feed into your brain and into your psyche as you grow up, and you internalize all these really, really negative comments about yourself. So when I was in Nigeria, I started taking these pills that are actually meant to make you gain weight. They're supposed to induce an appetite in you. And I guess one of the effects or the side effects of it is that it makes you go to sleep. So I used to take these pills into sixth form. And I remember one day in sixth form, I had taken these pills at nighttime, and I didn't go to sleep. Like, I stayed up doing stuff. So they didn't actually really kick in until really, really late, I think the early hours of the morning. And so when I got to school the next day, in the first period, I had the worst tremors. Like, my hands were like this. I couldn't read. I couldn't sit still. I was like, it basically looked like someone that was going through withdrawal symptoms. And after the first period, which was like 45 minutes, I went to the common room and I slept for the whole school day. Literally, it was the end of the day that my friends woke me up and were like, yeah, wake up, go to the boarding house. It's time to go. School's finished. You've missed the whole day's worth of lessons. And I remember my friend Mariam, Mariam was like, if you ever take those pills again, I'm going to report you. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And she basically just like scared the shit out of me and was like, if you ever take those pills again, don't be ridiculous. What kind of stupid pills are you taking to make you gain weight? What weight do you need to gain? You're fine the way you are. And she basically just like talked sense into my head. And so that was the end of the pills. And I was I must have been like 17, 18 at this point. And I stopped taking them. And yeah. And then after that, I just started to just accept myself for who I was, and that this was my physique. In my family, we don't have big bum bum. Where am I going to get big bum bum from? We don't have it. My mom said, no. My daddy said, so like, why am I here eating, hoping that it's going to magically appear? There's genetics, people. If your genetics do not say bum bum is in your destiny, you can do 1,000,000 squats. You're not gonna get the Kim K bum. Kim K doesn't even have her own bum. She paid for it. Do you know what I mean? Like, ugh. Anyway, that was basically my story. And then I went into uni, and I think it wasn't until I was about 21 that I really just said, you know what? I'm not bad. Looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, yeah, okay. I'm pretty decent. Like, I think I was like a size 8 to 10, and I know, like, even thinking about it now is like, what was wrong with you? But you don't understand the kind of damage. When people are teasing you that you have AIDS at age 10, like, nah, like, I'm just grateful to God that I'm not in a position where I'm still so scarred or I'm still so damaged and I feel like I need therapy or anything like that, because it's really, really, really horrible things that are spoken into people's lives when they're younger and that they internalize, and you don't know until it starts playing out when you're older. So now that I'm, I guess, more comfortable with the way that I look, I thought about, you know, the different stages that I went through with my body image and what it took for me to get to this position that I'm in. And I thought I would share a few of them with you if you have a similar problem. Yours might not be trying to gain weight. Yours might be struggling with weight and trying to lose it, or having weight in a particular area. Oh, I want to have a big bum, or I want to have curvy hips, or I want to have big boobs. Now, that's not to say that I'm not bashing anyone who does surgery. I don't necessarily think surgery should be your first answer. I think surgery, if at all, should be a very, very last resort. So yeah, the first thing that made me realize that, look, this is all you're gonna get really, Joe, is genetics. Like I was saying earlier, if it's not in your genetics to have big bum bum, it's not gonna happen. Like, you can do squats and they will firm up the muscles around your bum and you will have a rounder looking bum, but you're not gonna have a donkey booty. You're not gonna have a shelf. And the sooner you come to terms with what your body will and won't produce, the better you will feel for it. It's not for you to just give up and be like, oh, I'm never gonna be skinny, or my family is fat. Stop. You can lose the weight and you can eat better. But for things like, oh, I want to be taller. Take height, for instance. If all your family, you are dwarfs, why do you suddenly think that if I eat enough beans, I'm gonna be tall? It doesn't work like that. There's a role that genetics plays, and of course there's nurture and nature. So there's different things that you can do to improve or to suppress certain characteristics about yourself. But if it's like, oh, I wanna have big breasts, but none of your people have breasts, or like, sis, don't kill yourself. Life is for living, food is for eating, enjoyment is for enjoying. The second thing is not to let the media, social media, Instagram, Pinterest, whatever, don't let it dictate what is and isn't beautiful to you. There's so much whitewashing, shape washing, this one, that one, depending on where you are, that, you know, it just can be very, very, very depressing sometimes. You see this person, their back is shaped like this, their legs are like that, but half of the time they're actually just like enhancing themselves on Photoshop or Lightroom or whatever the apps that people are using. And you can't let the best of people now make you feel like you are a sack of potatoes, because you're not. Like, you are French fries. Everything you see on social media is not real. A whole bunch of people are living fake lives. So live your own best life. Number 3 is that there's no shortcuts in life. Renee said this in her video, that you see people and they've done their BBL and they're telling you that it's great, but you don't know if it's the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th surgery. I've never had surgery, and I can't say that I never will, because never say never, but at this stage of my life, I feel like surgery is one of the last things on my list. There's no shortcuts. Go to the gym, put in the work. She said it herself that if she had known, she would have just gone to the gym and worked out instead of being lazy. For me, it was the pills. I was like, okay, take these pills. It's going to give me appetite. I'm going to eat. I'm going to gain weight. All it was doing was giving me mad heart palpitations and tremors in class. And that brings me on to, I guess, my 4th point. Ask yourself, think to yourself, why am I doing this? Why does this bother me? How much better is my life going to be once I fix this part of my body? Really think about it in the grand scheme of things. Okay, my breasts are small. How does that affect my bills? How does that affect my health? How does that affect my self-esteem in the grand scheme of things? Has that stopped me from getting opportunities in life? Has that stopped me from advancing in my career? There's things in life to be thinking of. I know I've said this a bunch of times where I'm not bashing surgery, but I just want people who are going into surgery to really think about how much happier, how much better will I be for doing this? Do your research, read about the risks. Now, there's something that my fiance told me when we watched the video together. There's something that he told me about BBLs. First of all, he's a doctor, so it's an informed opinion. With BBLs, you are taking fat out of other places, namely your stomach and your sides, and you're putting it into your bum. If you feel your bum, if you stand up and you feel your bum, the bottom part is it just goes into your leg. It just goes like that. There is no shelf for fat to sit on. It's basically like that, which is why they tell you aftercare to like massage it. Make sure you keep doing your massages so that the fat stays up and you keep it there. Otherwise it will happen, and I guess it's probably what happened in the case of Renee, is that the fat will just start to slide down. There's no blood supply, there's nothing containing the fat, at least if it's at the top part of your waist, like this bit. If it's like this part, there's still a bit of a shelf where fat can stay, but underneath it's just gonna go gravity will pull it down. And if you have done your research and you know that this is a very, very likely outcome, also weigh it up and think, do I really want to do this? Do I want to do this? Like in Renee's case, you go to fix a problem, to fix another problem, to fix another problem, and every time you lie down on that table to get surgery, your life is just in the balance like this. Like, whether you pay cheap, whether you pay a lot, there is always a chance of death. Because people were saying, oh, it's because it was cheap, because she went to Turkey. Not risk. Kanye West's mom, she died on a table. Do you think her surgery was cheap? There's so many people that like go for surgery and it doesn't work out for one reason or the other. So please make sure you do your research. Make sure you understand the risks involved. Get a second opinion or third opinion from different doctors, even if it's in different countries. Understand the toll it's going to take on your health potentially. And if after all is said and done and you feel like yes, I know, yes, then be on your merry way. But think about what the true problem is and how you can resolve that first. Think about how you can improve your psyche. Think about how you can have better thoughts about yourself, because today it might be your bum, tomorrow it might be, I don't know, your calf muscles, the next day, oh, my teeth, the next day, like, learn to love yourself the way you are and completely and truly be one and be at peace with yourself. And I think overall, just be grateful for the body and the life that you have. I know that we say this and we take it for granted, that you have 2 arms, 2 legs, you can walk, you can talk. There's so many people out there who would give anything to be able to have the body that you have. Be grateful for the body that you have. If you want to fix something, I'm all for constant improvement. Get in the gym or what have you, put in the work and see the results. If that's not the way out, obviously you can't gym off bumping your nose or whatever, then fine. Do what will bring the most joy and the most happiness to you. But all I'm saying is make sure that you don't do surgery lightly. Okay, so that brings me to the end of this video. If you have enjoyed it, please press the subscribe button. It would really help me accomplish my goal of 200 subscribers this month and 500 subscribers before Christmas. If you don't already, please do follow me on social media. I am at JMOTG on all my socials because we stay consistent, darling. If you have any kind of topics that you'd like me to cover in my next video, please do let me know. Comment down below. And also, let me know what you think of body image issues and how you have overcome them if you had them in the past. And if you're going through anything at the moment, let me know. Like, slide in my DMs if you want to talk about stuff. I'm happy to have an honest conversation with you. I think ultimately we need to strive for a healthy and happy lifestyle, and that is mentally as well as physically. So until next time, thank you very much for dialing in. I keep saying dialing in. My life revolves around work calls. Until next time, thank you very much for tuning in and watching my video today. Take care. Bye.